sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Superhero. Superhero.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? First off, I want to say thank you very much. We have new names in here, and I'm so loving it on this Taco Tuesday. I want everyone to set their reminders because we have another show at noon. Okay? And Retro, one of my best friends, says, I love this song. Retro enjoys the soundtrack on the channel. She truly does. Sister Karen has been a member for 27 months. That's exactly what I'm talking about. My friend Daphne's here. Tina Kent, what's up? Black and Red is here. Ooh. Two Boston what? Two Boston moms. I can watch a live finally. I had my damn wisdom teeth removed yesterday, so I've got time today. Ooh. Did you take a video of yourself, or did someone do it for you when you got done with it? If you want to share it with me, I promise it will go no further. I happen to love those after extraction videos. They're great. Look at that. 51 months. It feels like Ange and I are married. Jananka, 5 months. Look at you go, girlfriend. I don't know what to do with you guys. No idea. If you would like to be a member, I promise somebody can put a link in. So let's tell all of our new friends hello, and our old friends. I don't mean old as an age, but you know what I mean. Oh, how on earth did she put up with me all this time? Oh my goodness. Okay. Woo. Ugh. I'm trying to look at chat. Hang on. To see who got the memberships. Either way, thank you so much, Camp. Okay. By the way, I see all your milestones and I'm truly touched. And so I'm going to keep with the rhythm of the show. Keep flashing them. Keep flashing them. Okay. And I will definitely showcase them towards the end. I want to welcome our amazing friend who has done all and more in the case of Jack and Lily. This is Shenanigans. Hey, are you still using that same shampoo?
I am.
I'll drop you my address because I need some help with my locks. Let's welcome Shenanigans. True Crime Beat said, "Ooh, her hair looks so nice. Mine's like all tucked back in a scrunchie. It looks like something you could scrub a pot with." Yeah, on the other channel, we could seriously do a hair care show with Shenanigans. All right, let's look.
That I've foot off of it.
Last week, I was kind of in and out, tornadoes, different things like that. And also been really highly concentrated on the Athena Strand case, which has been a real punch in the gut. Then I get hit by this freight train with Jack and Lily. Jordan Getty was arrested yesterday.
We don't know that for sure.
Okay.
We haven't heard that from an official source yet, have we?
No, I believe everything I read on the internet.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to see the actual court documents, which haven't been filed yet to prove it, but time will tell. It's certainly a very strange coincidence.
Okay. Then I will say no more. Just that's what everyone is saying, that it's him.
Yep. I know. I'm not sure how many 33-year-olds there are on Foxbrook in Westville, so
Yeah. And if it is him, it's pretty telling that they're picking one at a time off.
it certainly is.
You know, and this is about Jack and Lily. Okay. I was reading some things, you know, all the different groups. I can't tell you which one it is. I don't know what group is what. Okay. And it seems like there's some intimidation going on where some people are scared to talk about Jack and Lily.
Yeah, there's definitely intimidation going on. I'm on the receiving end of it regularly, but it's not going to shut me up.
Who do you think's doing it?
I think there's a group of people that are determined to take away from the fact that two children disappeared off the face of the earth, and they will do anything and everything to keep people guessing as to what really happened. And I'm not quite sure whether it's for financial gains or for simple clicks and views. I'm on the fence.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with this. The attorney, Daleen, reached out to a man named Larry. Okay, here on out, his name is Lair Bear. Okay,
Yep.
I don't want to be accused of doxing, even though he has given up everything everywhere. His name, but it is public, so here is his Facebook. Take a gander.
Oh, I'm aware. He reached out to me on March the 4th.
March the 4th. For what, may I ask?
He wanted to see my investigation and he would show me his. And I have the receipts for that.
Well, I've heard many stories about him and his involvement in Jack and Lily's case, that he originally got involved in May of 2025. And it's heartbreaking to think that it's coming up on a year. Okay.
Yeah.
So the attorney wants him to dissect the police report. That's confusing to me because attorneys love to get a hold of documents. They love police reports. Now, let me go through his credentials and you tell me what you think, everyone. He says he lives in Mexico City. My understanding is he's in Nova Scotia, but I don't know. I'm not going to send him a Christmas card. You can see I reached out. I'd like to be a friend. His name's Larry, trainer for military special ops, ICAC task force. What is that? Interpol, United Nations, but it doesn't say what country he represents. FBI task forces, and then it says etc. And he's part of an anti-trafficking bureau. Oh my fucking God. Okay, so I can tell you right now, and I don't make the rules here in the US of A, the FBI don't use dudes from Canada to train their FBI. Okay?
Disagree? Why would they, when they have such a large pool of over 300 million population, would they need to take someone from Nova Scotia?
I don't think up until yesterday they knew this dude existed. Okay? I mean, they do now.
Oh, I'm sure they've had an eye on him for a while. It's not his first rodeo.
Oh, okay. I think the big thing that raised the FBI, as Hannibal Lecter said in Silence of the Lambs, is that someone that supposedly, which truly can't do it, the FBI trains FBI, that he's raising money to stop child trafficking. Okay, let me show you.
Mhm.
All right, so I will say he's computer savvy. Man, he put a bunch of stuff together. Check it out. Look at this. Sullivan case, platform index, platforms 11, primary
It's
subjects.
pretty.
Martell, classification, restricted, Sullivan master intelligence platform. You know, all of that is all well and good. But then if you look at the right side of the screen, I don't know what confuses me more. That someone that trains the FBI needed money to help child trafficking. The government here kind of has their own money for that. I've never seen anything like this. or that 10 people donated and he's already raised over 7K.
Yep. That's one of the many GoFundMes he's had set up.
Mm-hmm. So, did you donate to this shenanigans?
No, I did not, but I think what you'd find pretty interesting is if you actually clicked on that GoFundMe, there was one very large donation made by one individual for over $3,000 just to set the tone. I believe that's called creating a float.
Okay. What was that 3 grand for? Because this is for 10 grand.
Yes, but no, within those 10 donations, one donation alone is for 3,600.
Who
3,000 something.
who on earth would get okay?
Well, I mean, I heard this great story from a busker I know. And he mentioned that when he would perform, he would always put money in the guitar case ahead of time to make it look like other people had donated. And I thought that was interesting.
I'm assuming Larry is the one that plays the guitar.
Nope. It was just a friend that I know when we were discussing who would have made such a large donation to the platform. Um, it was brought up that that's something that people do who are trying to get more money is make it look like it's a trustworthy cause by filling it with money from yourself to say, oh, look, so and so donated money already, then it must be all right for me to throw some change in the pot too.
I'm going to address something in here. Candace said MBM is allowed to befriend whoever she wants. She sure can. And Shenanigans has not done anything wrong. True story. Just to let you know, the show is not about shenanigans and it's not about MBM today. So you can take a deep breath. I'm not doing an expose on shenanigans. Am I shenanigans?
No, and I appreciate that. You're one of the very few creators who isn't.
All right. So let's see. He's got all kinds of stuff on here. I can't get over this right here. Justice for the missing, trafficked, and abused. Why is GoFundMe keeping this up? Because if all it takes is 70, well, I'm just say $10,000, that would have been done a long time ago, Home Skillet.
Yeah, the question I kind of have is if you already have 218,000 files and you've already created multiple platforms for various other cases, then you already have the layout or the template to create others because you're basically just plugging information into a platform and calling it by a different name. So the technology and the software already exists for this from previous cases he has allegedly worked on. So does it cost another $10,000 to upload information? I'm not sure.
I don't know enough about it. I have zero idea. Sometimes these platforms kind of fund themselves, so I don't know. I do not know.
I mean, I suppose there are subscriptions.
Sure. No Mercy said, well, at least it's not a Cash App scam being used by a certain psychic. Why does
Oh, hey, Wolfie. How's it going, Wolfie? Good to see you in chat.
This to me seems a little worse because he's putting it off as if this $10,000 is going to get justice for
Jack and Lily in
missing
particular.
and abused.
This particular image um, was shared along with Jack and Lily's image on his Facebook page. So it was definitely appeared as though he was insinuating that the funds would be going towards finding Jack and Lily.
You know, that might put a better taste in people's mouths by saying, starting a search, getting drones out, need gas money, hotel money, what, I mean, just we can all figure that out.
I just don't see what can be offered by this when we already have the RCMP and the OPP and the highest agencies in Canada, as well as various legitimate charities that have worked and continue to work to search for Jack and Lily. I'm not sure how this open source intelligence platform can shine any more light than CBC, Globe and Mail, CTV, and RCMP updates have already provided. All that this open source information is information collected from open sources. So it's already out there. And anyone following the case already knows all of these things. And the only way that someone would have additional intel that was available through the RCMP would be if they were hacking the RCMP, because he's not a member of the RCMP. So
No, I agree. I mean, between what the news has put out, Globe and Mail, RCMP, what Daniel himself has said, the interviews with everyone else, I think that's kind of, I mean, that's what I look at. Okay. So I just don't think I don't think I'm even gonna throw a tenner in there. So, how did he come into the Jack and Lily case?
well, that is the question, really. There's been multiple discussions going on behind the scenes as to how he became involved. Um, there is a screenshot that appears to be doctored in which he reached out to Malaya on May the 5th, in which he asked her for her address and internet information so that he could triangulate information as to who was in the area. And the language he uses is very official and very law enforcement like. But RCMP wouldn't be reaching out to you via Facebook. And that message went unread and unanswered. So that was May the 5th. And I was contacted on March the 4th regarding, he reached out to me asking about information on cases I was working on and sent me links to click on, which I will not do, especially not if on my phone. I said I would do my due diligence and get back to him. So I did some due diligence, and I didn't really feel comfortable reaching out to him and sharing any information with him, despite what his Facebook page looked like. I'm a pretty skeptical person, especially in this case with what people's intentions are. So I let that go for some time, and then I did actually message Daleen with a screenshot of his information saying, "Do you know this man? Because he's reaching out to me asking me for information." And she said no, she didn't. So I left it at that. And shortly after that, we stopped talking based on the fact that I felt it was a bit of a conflict of interest for me to speak with her when I am advocating for Malaya. So, um, and then there was around the same time, early on in March into early April, that Darren Geddes had mentioned that he was in touch with a very intelligent man, and that he was providing a lot of information on where the children were and what had happened, and going along with, the children were safe and well on a reserve somewhere. So um, it's hard to say where he came from and when he came to light, but I know that I didn't provide any information, and I won't provide any information. And anybody who wants to do so, that's up to you. But I would advise, if you have any information regarding the disappearance of Jack and Lily, that you call the RCMP, particularly if you call the major crime line, and on this number, which is it on this poster? Yes. 902-896-5060. That's who should be getting the information about the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan. They are the ones that are going to solve this case, and they are the ones that have been investigating since day one. And us as YouTubers, our obligation is to keep their names out there and to keep people talking and to keep pressure on those who may or may not be involved in the case, in order that someone speaks to the RCMP. I am not sure about everyone's intentions. So what I do is I just keep my circle very close. My trust circle is pretty small, and I will trust the RCMP and organizations like Please Bring Me Home, and my close friends, and no one else.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir, girlfriend. I've been doing this a long time, and let me tell you what, that snake, quit rubbing your hair. You're making me feel like shit. Yeah, I've been bit by a
I
snake.
can see it in the camera and it's sticking up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's humid over here today.
Jesse said that Larry said last night RCMP typically doesn't reply when he reaches out. With his credentials, are
Why
they?
wouldn't they? That's strange.
Are you kidding me? Interpol, United Nations, FBI trainer. Looks like he's trained the military, yet never been in the military. It's one thing after another. Let me look. Jananka wants to know, what are his like legal credentials? What's his real credentials? What do we know?
I've not been able to determine that yet. After speaking to someone who knew Larry for over 20 years, it appeared as though a lot of these qualifications were through workshops that he created himself, and was charging other people to partake in. Um, and that a lot of these badges and credentials could be purchased online on eBay and such platforms, but I can't confirm that. Um, what I can confirm is what you just said. If he's alleging that the RCMP will not um, return his calls or respond, I would suggest that maybe it's because perhaps there isn't anything meaningful or what they don't know already. Like I said, it is an open source information platform of which everything can be found online. And I suspect that the RCMP have quite a substantial AI generation platform themselves, which compiles information from all the sources. So they would have compiled this probably back in starting in May, and likely have a significant amount of information acquired from the internet already.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, look at that. Angel P, my work wife, gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Let's get our umbrellas. And now we have some sexual harassment going on in the chat because Virginia Woolf said she does look pretty. You know, I feel like white, crusty dog shit. You know, you fucks are supposed to be my friends. Let's get to the show. Oh, Lord, what am I going to do with you? Gotta be kidding me. What should I
Want me
do?
to turn the camera off? I will.
Oh no, I'm loving this. I'm loving, no, they love to mess with me. It's okay. What should I do, shenanigans? Oh my gosh.
I
My
think
God.
you should address some of the comments in the chat. The thing is, I've been following this case since day one, so I know who all the regulars are.
Sure.
I know every single person that comes in, what they say, where their allegiances are. And I do see a lot of people that try to discredit um, Shelley, who came forward about her concerns with Larry and the fact that she knew him for so long and trusted him and has since come out to tell her experience with what happened. I don't believe that this is a case of jilted love, which people like to say. And the reason I don't believe that is because Shelley isn't the only person I spoke to. I've spoken to total of 3 women personally, and I have been made aware of multiple other people who have encountered Larry through various investigations into missing persons. And it appears as though the strategy in which to acquire information and funds um, is the same across the board. It's a much like his AI OSINT platform. He follows a script in which he uses, in my opinion, against vulnerable people who are um, grieving and wanting answers and will do anything and pay anything to find their loved ones. And that's just my opinion.
That's what Jim Terry used to do, and he got busted. He got, like, I can't even tell you how much money from families to find their families. He's some dead dick out of Louisiana that says he's a kicker for arena football, and he truly was. And I mean, he would charge all kinds of money to find, missing people. And it was a mess. It was a mess. And let me tell you, I've seen it over and over and over, and I cannot blame the people. If the police aren't working fast enough, we'll get some outside resources. Yes, we will. But, they get taken advantage of.
Yes, because they are desperate for answers. They want they want to find the people that they love the most. And it's, in my opinion, preying on vulnerable people. And I just don't think that that's something that should be done. I think that everybody wants to find Jack and Lily. Everybody wants to know what happened to them. But trying to gain financially from gathering open source information, I don't feel is a good way to proceed in life.
No. Take a guess, just a guesstimate. I don't need an exact number because I know you don't know. How much do you think
Much do I think he's gained from doing these various.
No, I didn't know what to call it. I don't know if it's, you know, Canada or your province or Nova Scotia. I'm just going to say law enforcement. How much do you think law enforcement has spent on the Lily and Jack investigation for almost a year?
Millions.
Millions. Okay. So not just 10 grand.
No, I would say based on how many investigators are involved,
Mhm.
cybersecurity units involved, all of the members that would be involved there. And if you were to consider the ground search and rescue of the multiple times, and you consider other resources that have put in, I mean, if you think that there are at least 200 officers working on this case through different various fields, and you say that um, let's just say for an average salary 50,000. I mean, what does that equal? And that's just for wages.
Well, and I mean, besides the investigation, there's a lot of extra money, time, overtime,
Mhm.
equipment, and everything when it
Yeah.
comes to looking for a missing child, for sure. I
It-
love this YouTube name, Grover Hates Elmo. Ooh, I would think Oscar hated Elmo, but okay. I'm concerned that Lair Bear is asking to record survivor stories of
that
their
was
abuse, and a man shouldn't be doing that. That's floating around, and I'm just a little sickened by it.
Yes. When I spoke to Shelley, when she brought her concerns to light about Larry, she was approached by several women, and it is alleged that Larry approached a victim of sexual assault, um, and asked her to come and meet him um, late at night, and so he could record her statement. And it then turned out, allegedly, that he was friends with the assailant. And she luckily, her instinct told her not to go and not to correspond with him. But that was one of two instances in which I heard that he had reached out to victims to meet them in under, I would say, unusual circumstances.
Everything I've heard is creepy circumstances. I am worried about Shelly that something might intimidate her to stop talking, or I don't, someone might get to her.
Well, the RCMP are very well aware of Larry Cameron and the concerns that people have. So I would suspect that they're keeping a very close eye on what he's doing online and in person. And if, as I've mentioned before, if there's anyone out there who has had a negative experience, I would suggest contacting your local RCMP and making a report. It's very important that there is a report on file for it, because until a victim makes a report, it's unlikely that they will investigate that particular claim. So I'm sure they are actually Queen Baphomet's um, insinuating that you are within law enforcement is impersonating law enforcement, and that is actually, I believe, an indictable offense here in Canada. So I think it's something that might be being considered behind the scenes.
I can't remember what state it was, but some dumbass got like an old Crown Vic from the salvage yard and somehow got some police lights and was seriously driving around pulling people over.
Well,
Story.
that is why it's such a sensitive subject here, in particular in Nova Scotia, based on the mass casualty event we had with Gabriel Wortman, who was impersonating law enforcement. He had also bought a vehicle that was used by local RCMP. He bought the decals and stickers and had them on his car, so it looked like a legitimate RCMP vehicle. And he was also dressed as RCMP, and he went on to murder multiple people in this province. And it is a very sensitive subject here for anyone to insinuate that they are part of law enforcement when they are not.
My understanding is they flat out said they're not. Nana Barb Brooks, I'm confused. How is this guy involved with the case of Jack and Lily? There's an attorney that
You should bring Kent up. He's aware of Larry's involvement with the attorney.
no, hang on, let me see if he can come up.
I'd like to hear his insight on the matter.
All right. Well, I'm going to get to your live and what Shelly had to say. Is she okay with me playing this? Obviously, you are because you're
Yep,
here.
she absolutely is. I spoke to her this morning, and she's more than happy for this to come out. And she did say that she would try to come out, but she is at work today, out on the field. So
funds for them. Is this the case or not? If I were to support a cause, I would want to know exactly where the money is going. Seems pretty simple. And then I was instantly blocked. So this was my friend, or so I thought. And I'm calling him out because he is straight up using their names and faces for his GoFundMe platform that is not going to be used for anything to do with Jack and Lily. But he's misleading the public into thinking that that's what it's for. So it's very obvious to me. It's obvious to everyone else. So people are raising red.
Is impersonating an attorney in Canada a chargeable offense? And I'm not implying Daleen.
no, I know Seaweed is a mod for another channel, and they are very hard going on members of Malaya's family, trying to insinuate that the person who signed cease and desists was impersonating a lawyer. And if anybody actually were to look closely at those cease and desists, nowhere does it say it was a lawyer, and nowhere do they insinuate that it was James Michael of the Pink law firm. So it's just people grasping at straws, really, and trying to discredit members of the family that have nothing to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily.
Okay.
Flags, and every time someone would ask where the funds were going, he would block them. So people were messaging me, and that's what kind of started the ball rolling. So people started messaging me like screenshots of him asking them for money, telling them the same old stories he told us, and then also the other families of the missing people in Cape Breton.
Right. Can you tell me a bit about some of the things he would tell you about his affiliations and who was paying him, and a bit about where he said the money was going?
He said the money was going to his platforms, but then I clicked on the platforms and they're literally from Google and like verbatim, like he doesn't even put any effort into it. It's literally verbatim from Google. I can get all of that information. And then some of the information is
Literally from Google. Literally. They have templates for resumes and everything else. Question. Rochelle, my lawyer hired Larry to help with copyright infringement case for his intelligence expertise. I paid him over $1,000 and he couldn't even find an IP address. He is no intelligence expert. Wow. Wow.
Invalid. So I'm not sure where he's getting some of this stuff, but a lot of it it's just all public knowledge, and he puts it in like a little platform and puts colors on it and acts like he did something magical. Like, no, I don't believe that people should be giving you thousands of dollars to make up a page that we can all just, it's at our fingertips anyway. So I feel this is just another way of Larry scamming money out of people like he's been doing for years.
Right. Can you tell me a bit about what he would tell you the money was for? I know you said that there was a bunch of you that had got together and were discussing what he was asking money for. Can we just go through that again about some of the things he was asking money for?
Yeah, he would say, I haven't eaten, like, could you send me money for food? He would send pictures laying on a floor saying that he's sleeping in like a carport or like he would say he's like in a parking garage because people can't locate his devices down there. He would say that he's hiding from people because he works undercover. And then he would say, like, I can't get into detail. I can't tell you too much, but I do trust you. And then like 2 minutes later, it'd be like, could you send me an EMT? Like, it was always a story. And like, even, oh, I can't tell you how many guns have been put to my head. And just, there was another one where he's referencing a shooting that happened in Nova Scotia that, like our friend group would be.
Oh my gosh. He's like the Canadian Ernie Shell. I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but the ladies that know. Oh my gosh. I need money to eat. I'm sleeping in a carport. One thing, why would anyone hire him for anything if he can't even buy his own sandwich?
Well, when you continue to go through the screenshots from this live that I did, there was one provided that he insinuated that he was being paid by the RCMP $30,000 a month. So people trusted him based on that information, I believe.
Because there's a screenshot saying he's on the RCMP payroll. They have already said he's not.
Yeah, that's right. But this was before, and it was, if someone says that and you have a missing loved one and they are showing you credentials such as working for the FBI and training the military and these really nice platforms, you're likely to want to believe them because you want answers so desperately.
People are calling the RCMP wanting them to do a press conference to put these rumors to rest. I doubt they will. They have other things to do. But, that's where we're at. Or they could. Never know.
Be familiar with. And he references that, saying that he was supposed to be like undercover, but then they called his name out in court. So everybody was out looking for him and just stuff like that. But really nobody was looking for him.
Right. A lot of stories about him being endangered and needing money. And can you tell us a bit about the image that he showed you of his bank account? Allegedly.
Yeah, it was like, it looked like 27,000. I forget the exact amount. 27. It was almost $28,000 going in and going out in that month. I forget it was May or April or something like that. But anyway, it was showing the money like in and out. So he's claiming that he makes $30,000 a month, basically. So that was just one it was one transaction or something, or like one account.
I know. I'm sorry, Canadian PI. I really am. But I've been busy lately. So this has all been kind of new to me in the last couple days. All right. So,
What
and
was explained already? I'm curious what has been explained.
maybe it's something this person knows.
Maybe they should come up on the panel and explain what's been explained.
Yeah, I want to know. And Shenanigans isn't lying about anything. Matter of fact, there's stuff I have said, and she's told me that hasn't been confirmed. This is about Shelley and what happened to her by Lair Bear.
This is information that was brought forth by someone who is concerned about what is going on. It's not been proven in court. He's not been charged with anything, but this is one of many women behind the scenes who has concerns about how Larry is conducting himself in a missing children's investigation. There are 2 children missing, and the RCMP are working very hard behind the scenes with multiple agencies and charities. And I don't personally think, in my opinion, that someone like Larry needs to be involved. And if the RCMP are not responding to him, I would suggest that they already have all of the information, as I mentioned, that is open source information gathered by various social media platforms, including Facebook, Reddit. He even uses Wikipedia as one of his sources. So I believe that the RCMP have more sophisticated AI software to gather this information than he does. And I don't think that having a GoFundMe attached to Jack and Lily's name in any shape or form, regardless if he took the image down, which he did. And also, his preliminary report came out with some extremely inaccurate information stating that Malaya had failed her polygraph. Actually, his words were, and verbatim, in quoted, Malaya was found to be not truthful, and it was found on 3 separate areas on his platform. It since has been corrected. However, there is nowhere in social media anywhere that had that information out there. So that just shows how inaccurate AI generating platforms can be when it comes to investigating a missing persons case. So everything I say is factual, and it's based on opinions of people that are involved and have been involved with Larry Cameron. So whether they are telling the truth is up to them. I am only giving them a platform to discuss what has happened to them, and I think that's fair.
Why not?
Everyone else has a platform to talk on, and I'm happy to debate with anyone if you'd like to come up, Canadian PI, and explain how this was already explained, because I'm still talking to Shelley. Her information has been sent on to RCMP, as have many other women who have been victim to this. And we just had a Rochelle in the chat saying that she was also a victim of sending $1,000 for a separate kind of investigation. So, I'm not making false accusations here. Nothing has been proven in court. However, when you look at the circumstances surrounding this and the many people coming forward about him, it does make you want to second guess and question what his intentions are, as would anyone if coming forward with this kind of situation. And I implore Kent, I implore Daleen or anyone else to come up here and explain how this has been explained already, because to my knowledge, I haven't heard anything to back up these credentials, nor have I seen anything that he has provided other than a pretty platform that on information that everyone already knows.
There's nothing wrong with a victim coming up and telling their story, and she's backing it up with their conversation that he started. I showed his Facebook earlier in the show, and it's definitely his.
And then he would say, like, look, I get all this money so I can pay you back. He's never paid anyone back, not a dime. Nothing that I know of. Nobody has ever been paid back.
Right.
But to me, if you're making $30,000 a month, there's no reason why you're hungry, can't house yourself, can't feed yourself, like, and is also posting pictures on planes, but like also recently posted a picture on a plane and said traveling or see you later, Canada. And then I literally had a screenshot from 2015 of the exact same photo. And I was like, wow, like what is wrong with this guy? And it's like extra leg room. Like, buddy, you can't afford to eat, but you can pay for extra leg room. Good for you. Like, just the math ain't mathin' with him.
Definitely. Can you tell us a bit about the workshops that he was? I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know what the workshop entailed because I've asked him. I was like, oh, what is it about? But at the time I was studying, I was taking a private investigator's license course. So I was doing that and I told him about it because, I thought we were friends. And I thought that he was like a professional. So we were talking and then he said, oh, like you should take my course. And I was like, asking questions about the course, which I never got any answers to. And then you can see in that message, I'm like, is there a website I can go to? And he was trying to say, I'll give you 50% off right now. It's normally $2,000 or $2,500, but I'll give it to you for half price if you give it to me right now. Like spots are filling up. And I was just like, this guy is so full of shit. Like, so I was just like, man, I'm not giving him any money. So then I asked for a website and then he said, it's not complete yet or something like that in the messages. And then I just said, oh, I'll talk to you later. And then he never brought it up again. I've never heard of this workshop. I've never seen it. Like it just disappeared.
Right. I was looking at some of the screenshots you had sent me, and I just want to give a bit of a disclaimer here. Everything that Shelley and I talked about has actually been sent to the RCMP. So before everyone starts worrying and sending in the information from this channel, just please be rest assured that it's already been sent in. Anything that's been spoken about has already been sent in, so there's no need for you to flood them with more information, unless, of course, you also have a situation like this that you've found yourself in, then by all means, reach out.
Someone named True Crime Cases wants to come up.
Sure. I just wanted to address something which I thought was really funny. Canadian PI mentioned that I suggest that I'm a police informant and that I'm sexualizing Rob McCammon. I'm not sure if she's aware that Rob McCammon is actually very heavily involved in musical theater. And I have it on good authority that he has some of my videos as a screensaver. So I would be very careful about saying that I'm sexualizing Rob McCammon, who is a great man who I admire greatly, who has worked on many cases here with regarding children and sexual assault. And I do not sexualize him. I think he's a great man, and I think he deserves an immense amount of respect, and anything I can do to make them laugh when they're dealing with a case of 2 missing children and the stress levels that they have, I will do that. As for me insinuating that I'm a police informant, I'm not a police informant, but what I do, which is different from some other channels, is that any information that I get that is relevant to the disappearance of Jack and Lily, I send that information to the RCMP, which is the whole reason why I created a platform. So that is what you're supposed to do when you receive information regarding missing children, is to send it to the RCMP, is it not?
And here we go. V. Oakley wants to know if Rob is hot. Typical for these people. Love you, V. Canadian PI, why do we care about his past? His data speaks for itself. There isn't anything, just my opinion, there isn't anything he has that the investigators don't have, and the investigators don't have a GoFundMe. I'm very confused. Welcome, True Crime Cases.
Morning.
Well, hey, girlfriend.
Hi, how are you?
Well, fine.
Hi, Shanigans.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
I just want to clear a couple of things up. For one thing, the platform that he made, that Larry made, it is everything that was taken out of the court documents that some of us have received and put on this platform so he can analyze it. That's all it is. It's really not that important. Also, I'd like to say in my Facebook group, he did, I don't know if this is misleading or what, but he did claim that there was new evidence that came out.
Well, I hope he turned it in.
Yeah, well, I hope so too.
I think it's very odd that he's been telling all these women for umpteen years that he's paid 30 grand a month by the RCMP. I can't imagine anyone in the RCMP that makes that type of lettuce.
No. I noticed too also on his Facebook page, what he does is he goes back in time and reposts things on his Facebook page. Like things from 2021, 2022. Like there's nothing updated. And I also noticed as well that the platform that he used for Jack and Lily, there was a GoFundMe there, but I checked it out, I think it was yesterday, and it's gone.
It's likely reported.
That's what I'm thinking too, because there's so many people that have seen it and asked about it. In my Facebook page, people have been questioning him about it. And he, of course, doesn't answer, that question, you know.
Yes, I'm aware he's not very keen on answering questions. He's more keen on deflecting away from potential answers, in my opinion.
Yes. And I did notice that the other night, when he is asked a question, he doesn't directly answer that question. It's kind of like a word salad. He just kind of talks about it, but then he changes the subject.
Yep. I don't disagree.
Well, there are a few.
My question is, why are so many people determined to give credibility to something that has some serious questions behind it? I find it unusual and questionable as to why there are so many people advocating and wanting the discussion to stop when there are so many red flags. It's concerning to me that my channel, this particular episode was mass reported on because of the information that came out. Surely everyone involved in this case would not want misinformation being put out there. He claims that all of his information comes from, for example, the court documents, the unredacted sections. Nowhere in those court documents did it say that Malaya was found to not be truthful. That was false information being put out there. And once it does hit the algorithm, that's something that will come up when somebody searches through AI for Malaya. So I find that it's actually a very big disservice to the case to be pushing out misinformation so incredibly inaccurate as that. I mean, that is very basic information that everyone has seen in the documents and has been put out by mainstream media.
I agree. Why put out false information? Anybody that read the court document knows that she passed.
Mhm.
She passed the lie detector test. Daniel passed it. Why put out that information if it wasn't true?
Mhm.
And
The
I
way he
mean, when
described
the thing
Sorry, go ahead.
is what happens is when somebody comes on and starts to tell the truth about somebody else, they start to hide. They don't like when people confront them, like on your channel the other night. Shelly confronted Larry,
Mhm.
and he was not having any of that. But sometimes when the truth comes out, people run the other way.
What did he do on that live?
He left. Didn't he not leave the live?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. He left the live. Because when people come out and tell the truth, how can you try to justify what people are saying? Especially when Shelley was saying, how he went and how she got somebody, like a family member or someone that she knew that was missing, and she asked, because of Larry having all these credentials, and plus she was friends with him, if he could possibly help her. And all he did was nothing. He didn't do anything for this family.
No, he did not.
He has absolutely, you Google him, it will show that he has not done anything at all. Because I mean, his credentials are like amazing, don't get me wrong, but where is anything that he did? Where's the proof of stuff that he actually did to help people?
OMG. Then I'm going to copy those credentials and I'm going to put it in my bio. Okay. I did not know it was that easy. That's the kind of shit Lisa K. Ruitz does.
Yeah.
I found it interesting that when Shelley asked him whether or not he could provide any information on the 17,000 children he apparently
Mm-hmm.
allegedly rescued from human trafficking, that he couldn't come up with any names
Mm-hmm.
or cases of those children. In fact, he stumbled a little and brought up a potential adult that went missing but couldn't provide the information, and then decided to go talk about um, getting messages about cats up trees. So there's a lot of, in my opinion, deflection that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just questioning someone's integrity who has inserted themselves into the Jack and Lily case and has attached GoFundMe's towards leading people towards the conclusion that it's to help find Jack and Lily,
Mm-hmm.
And I just find that disrespectful to the children. I find it hurtful to the people that did care about Jack and Lily, and do care about Jack and Lily. And all this is doing is creating more distraction and more misinformation regarding the disappearance of two children. And the authorities, the RCMP, the OPP, the cybersecurity unit, they are the ones that are going to find the answers by keeping pressure on people of interest. And if in fact they didn't walk away, which is what they were first called out for. So, although that is last on my list of possible theories, I still have a very open mind despite what people might think. But I will always err on the side of advocating for a woman of missing children who has undergone um, what the RCMP have said is control, and what has been said in the documents as violence. So I would rather make a public apology later on for being wrong than to throw a mother of two missing children under the bus.
And I totally respect you for that.
The
Not
way
everyone
I
does. So,
sorry. The way I see it, he's another character in this case. It keeps growing and growing and growing. I mean, I cannot, it's almost been a year, which is unbelievable. And the people that have came out within this year is just, I'm just amazed by it. Every single month there's somebody new, or every single week there's somebody new. And I mean, like Shanigan says, it's a distraction. It's a distraction on what we are supposed to be focused on, which is the children. It's Jack and Lily. That is our focus. But every single month, it seems to take that focus off and put it on somebody else that's not even irrelevant, as far as I'm concerned. Mostly people are not even irrelevant to me. I mean, that's my opinion. And it's just,
yes, I agree 100% with that. The amount of family members and extended people who have been um, attacked, harassed, and dragged through the mud over the disappearance of Jack and Lily is astonishing.
uh-huh. Yep. And it's just one distraction after the other. That's exactly what it is. Why? I don't know. I've never seen a case like this before. And trust me, I've followed many cases, I've done many cases, and I've never seen so many people coming out and doing nothing but a distraction for taking the thoughts out of Jack and Lily, which are the main focus.
Where are the children? They haven't been found. No one there has not been one single credible witness account of seeing Jack and Lily that has been confirmed
No,
in 11 months.
except some crazy lady that said they were getting their hair cut somewhere in the Northeast in America. Mrs. Mama, I
Not a
did
chance.
dig you, girl, and you
No.
know I love you. Daniel, Malaya, and Janie are liars. I don't believe none of them, in my opinion. There you go, baby. We do this day in, day out. We've done it for almost 5 years, and we've had all kinds of different opinions on here. And the only opinion that accounts is what the jury says and when the gavel comes down. But in the meantime, we're going to make sure that these beautiful children are not forgotten. Let's get back to Shelley because I feel bad for her, and there's a lot of other women coming out.
Let's talk about some of the other people that you know that have been taken in by Larry allegedly.
So yeah, I think Cody McDonald was one of the first ones after Trina's case. So Cody, like I said, I believe his girlfriend was the one who sent the money. And then I think she was on to him real quick, and then it kind of came to a halt. But his family has also, his cousin April, like, has commented on that Facebook post and said that they were also taken advantage of, and that he was saying he was tracking a phone that was actually not even traceable or something. So they were on to him pretty quickly. And then I also received messages, and I don't really want to say a name in this case, but because the person is has since passed away, but her dad was missing, and she had paid Larry a substantial amount of money to help locate him. And there was like stories like he's kidnapped, and like, again, you know, the wild goose chase trying to find him, and in fact he was deceased the entire
Yeah, and he was found here in Nova Scotia, and he was heading abroad, and then there was a bunch of stories that had come out,
Correct.
right? And he had basically got a lot of money from his daughter, right, to
correct
help
yeah
look for him. Right.
Yeah, to look for him and was saying like he's pinging him here, there, and everywhere. I believe he said Texas. I was contacted by her family and friends as well. And then, oh my God. And then the Justin McDonald case. So before Justin was found, like right before he was found by his dad, I again suggested Larry, and like I cannot apologize to these families enough because I feel so guilty. But I still believed in him. I didn't know about some of the other things, like they only came to light after this post was made on Facebook on April 1st. But with the Justin McDonald case, I was approached by his cousin Megan, and she's just the sweetest person. And she was also desperate for answers, just like all of us in all of these cases of our missing loved ones. And without a second thought, she sent him $1,000, and he went ghost mode for a little bit, and then to the point that I stepped in and I was like, hey, like you need to answer Megan, like what is going on? She paid you the money. And then it was just a couple days later, he was asking for another 1,000 and had given them no information. And I don't think he ever did. I'm not sure if he ever gave them pings or anything at all. I'm pretty sure he didn't give anything to that family.
Right. Well, that was in fact his dad that ended up finding him, right?
It was, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I do remember. I remember now. He actually said that he was pinging phones connected to Dragonfly delivery services and stuff. And now we all know what the outcome of that was. So we know who was responsible for his demise, and it certainly had nothing to do with Dragonfly deliveries. So
no,
once again, a wild goose chase.
Yeah, there seems to be a recurring theme with regards to his his motive and how he operates. It seems to be a standard procedure that he uses on people that are at their most vulnerable points.
Yeah, in saying that as well, like speaking of vulnerable people, so on this actual post, a younger than me, younger girl, she commented because she was part of a sexual assault case that was happening, and Larry contacted her via Facebook Messenger as well, and said that he would like to meet up with her to get a recorded statement. And then she thought, this is really strange. Thankfully, she thought quickly and contacted the Port Hawkesbury RCMP detachment and asked if he was working for them like he claimed he was, and he was not. So she...
Because he had insinuated that he was investigating, right? The case.
Yeah, just like he did with Malaya in that message, like on May 4th, like, hey, can I check your devices? Like, what do you mean? You are not part of this investigation. So why are you hindering it? You know, like it just seems so odd that he inserts himself into all of these cases, but has a 0% success rate. 0.
Yeah, that's it is shocking, and it did really disturb me that in particular with this young victim of a sexual assault. And do you recall where he wanted to meet this girl?
No, I don't think she told me, or she didn't post it, at least like on my Facebook page, but you can see it, the comments there, and it says like that he asked to meet her and that she thought it was really weird because he was claiming to work for the FBI and undercover, and she contacted the RCMP and they said no, he had no part in this case and that it was not to meet up with him. But she is not the first person, and I don't want to go into names on this one because this person doesn't want me to say their name, but he has asked someone to meet up with him in the middle of the night regarding another case as well, 2 a.m.
Right. Yeah. So very strange behavior for someone who is
Very strange behavior. He's not investigating shit. And attack me all you want. I have a very hard time believing that all of these women are lying and Lair Bear is telling the truth. They can back it up with real receipts. And I don't mean some AI made up screenshot. I mean, cha-ching, they have paid him for services that were not done. And I want to know why any attorney, I'm not talking about anyone in particular, would reach out to Lair Bear and ask him to analyze a police report when attorneys get their dick hard the minute they get a police report. They love them. I mean, they love them. Prosecution, they're like, this is what we've got. We're going. We're going. Defense, pick it all apart. Lair Bear hasn't investigated shit except for finding people to send him money. And it seems to me he's done a really good job at it. A real good job.
Yeah. And I would ask why people are so upset that I'm giving alleged victims a platform to discuss what's happened to them. I find it concerning, all of the backlash that I've received for offering potential victims of fraud when they're at their most vulnerable platform to talk about what's happened to them. I did more due diligence into Larry before I spoke to him. I wasn't going to give him any information until I did my proper due diligence. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a mom in Nova Scotia who is concerned as to what happened with 2 children in my community. And I live here. I have children. I want to know what happened to Jack and Lily as much as anyone out there. And if I feel that someone is trying to manipulate and take advantage of this situation, and including Belinda, I will say something. I will try to address it, and I'm trying to find the facts. I don't come out with anything unless I have receipts. I spoke to these women for several hours, recorded their conversations with their permission, before I brought her on my channel. I didn't just pull this out of my ass.
I'm just so heartbroken for Justin, for his dad. I mean, I followed his case, and
Yep,
I've
me
seen
too.
his dad, and his dad was literally crying, trying to desperately find his son.
Mhm.
And he would have done anything. And to take advantage of a person like that, that is evil. I mean, there's no other word for it. And lucky for him, he himself found his son. And I don't know. Also, another thing that Shelley mentioned about was how Larry had mentioned that he messaged Malaya on the 4th. He actually
It's Lair Bear on this
oh
channel.
sorry, Lair. Okay, he
Lair
actually
Bear, he's my little teddy bear.
oh god, he actually put that screenshot in my group. So yeah, the purpose of that I have no idea. Just to prove that he did message Malaya on the 4th of May, maybe, I don't know.
Does
A
he
picture of her response, though, did he?
He did not.
Because there was none. It was a
No.
one-sided conversation.
That's it. That's all it was. I don't know if he was just trying prove that he reached out to her, or I don't know.
I'm going to reply to a comment. Mrs. Mama, Malaya, Daniel, and all the rest of the creeps will go down. Eventually, they didn't protect these babies. I also think that Child Protective Services have a gift to give here. They knew a lot, and I don't know why they didn't pull the key on the grenade and do what they needed to do. It was well known the children were not going to school. It was well known within a certain group of people what was happening to Malaya. I mean, all of the above, all of the above. And everyone is entitled to their opinion. No need to attack. I believe Shelley because everything she says is backed up.
So basically, just to retrack a little bit. So you're saying that Daleen, when you communicated with her, which Megan here is saying it was about a week and a half ago, was basically intimidating you a bit with regards to what you were saying about Larry and the accusations that you had made about him.
Yeah, and then when she mentioned being cyberbullied, I said, "Oh, that always seems to happen when Larry's in the picture." And then she said, "Oh, I've only known Larry for a few days," which contradicts.
I'm going to bring up the screenshots actually of your conversation with Daleen, because somebody is in the chat saying show the receipts, and you know that I don't talk about. Yeah, I don't talk about stuff on my channel unless I have the receipts. So I'm just going to
have them all.
Yeah, I'm going to just go through our conversation here and download the screenshots of your conversation with Daleen. Maybe I'll download some of the ones about him spending.
If you look at the screen, this is the reason we call him Lair Bear here, okay? Okay? And by the way, these are available on Amazon and probably at any state fair. Okay, everyone? Let's show some respect to someone that knows how to get money without working for it.
$500 on 2 nights in an Airbnb.
Yeah, asking to stay in my
stay in your trailer if he could.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Talking about the course and to book a ticket.
Yep.
And yeah, let's show up some receipts, shall we? You keep talking about how this went down with Daleen, and I'm going to bring up some screenshots.
To be honest, that's all that happened, because I told her that if she continued to contact me, that I would have her arrested for harassment. So she just shut her mouth, which she should.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would an attorney continue? I'm going to put our mascot up for today. Why would an attorney I'm just going to say contact. I don't want to use the word I want to use. Someone who has, let's just say, been victimized by Lair Bear, who's on the screen. Why on earth would you reach out to that person? Don't attorneys, I mean, normally they make phone calls to other attorneys or they call back clients. But if there's an issue, it's in writing and it's mailed. I'm really confused by this. Can you answer that, Shenanigans?
I'm going to speak on the lawyer because I have my own issues with that scenario. And I'd rather not speak about her or on her or anything to do with anyone she's involved with or associates with, affiliates with, or makes videos with.
Gotcha. I dig it. I've heard that more than once. And I'm glad that Shelley just said, no, enough's enough. I don't need to hear from you anymore. I've never had an attorney call me and be like, din, 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 din. I'm like, what? I can call whoever the F I want. Get it? You don't pay my phone bill, attorney. If they have a problem, they can file a police report or you can send me a letter.
I did also ask her because I saw that she was charging Belinda for like paperwork and subpoenas and stuff, but also claiming to take this job on pro bono. And then I sent her like the definition of pro bono because apparently she doesn't know what that is. And then she sent me like, oh, there's like extra costs. And I was like, okay, but like, do you really have to charge a grieving grandmother for a simple phone call if you're doing this pro bono and if you're doing it for the real reasons? And in my opinion, I believe she's doing it for the clout because it's obviously a huge case. And I believe she is, well, I just won't say what I believe, but I believe that her and Larry are working together for sure.
Well, it certainly appeared that way. They did appear on a channel a few days ago in which you actually watched, I believe, and
Yes.
where Daleen had said she had met with.
I'm not asking the panel. Does anyone in chat know how much said attorney is paying Lair Bear for his consultation? Does anyone know? Attorneys don't get help for free. I don't care if it's someone that cleans up the office after 6. They never get help for free. They might get like a receptionist to bring back coffee on their dime and reimburse them for gas, you know, that type of stuff. But I mean, old Lair Bear, he's balls deep. So how much is he being paid? Just curious. Just curious.
Larry.
Oh, that's very interesting since he's traveling the United States, right? With his extra leg room. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just sending myself all these screenshots here.
That's okay.
Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the other GoFundMes that you're aware of that he's created for situations?
Yeah, so there's 2 other things that come to mind right away. So there was I think it was 2 years ago now. He claimed that there was a fire at his place in Halifax. Nobody really knew he had a place because he was always claiming to be homeless and hungry and whatever. So I think that's when like our group started being like, what is going on? Like, so that's probably when we created the group about what is wrong with Larry. And anyway, I did not believe him for 1 second on that one. I was like, nope, he's lying. So I actually sent someone to the address that he said it was at because he was asking people to send food or something. I can't even remember, but he posted the address and I sent someone there and they were like, there is absolutely no fire at this place. So I was like, okay, he's lying again. Anyway, he ended up convincing Rachel, who really doesn't want to be brought into this in any way, shape, or form. She really regrets doing the GoFundMe because we all think it's fraud. She was feeling very pressured by him. He had asked me originally, but I was already doing a GoFundMe for a friend that was battling stage 4 cancer. So that obviously took precedence over Larry's bullshit. So Rachel ended up agreeing to do it. And he provided her with the photo that he wanted for the cover of the GoFundMe, which was him and his son. And it said, please help Larry and Gavin. But his son does not even reside with him. So again, he's misleading the public into thinking, you know, like, oh, please help this father and his son. Like that's not how it was at all. And then when the GoFundMe happened, there was 2 comments in particular that were sent via email because, you know, some people can send messages. And one person said, oh, is this to supply his crack habit? And then another person said that they were working undercover.
Did I hear craft or crack?
Crack, as in the derivative of cocaine.
Ooh. 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 Just a guesstimate. I'm asking true crime cases and shenanigans. Since the can of worms or Pandora's box has been open and other women are reaching out, not that we want more work for the RCMP, considering Jack and Lily are missing. What do you think is going to happen? I do not know how things are dealt with in Nova Scotia, because some of these, well, I'm going to say all, but some are really bad. And they're all women.
Yeah. Do you want to answer that, true crime cases? I'm happy to follow up.
Sorry, Brooks, what was the question again? I was just thinking about something. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, thank you for daydreaming when I'm sitting here doing such an important show. Oh my Lord.
No.
I'm the closest thing to Diane Sawyer you've ever met. What I don't know enough about how things go down in your country when, since Pandora's box has been open and women are speaking openly and reaching out to RCMP with really horrific things. And I love you, Turkey Creek gal. What do you think will happen? I mean, I'm talking about money for services never rendered. And some are, well, I don't want to say, they are, they're of a sexual nature that's just floating around.
Well, I mean, the way I see it is with all these accusations that are coming out right now about Lair Bear,
Thank you.
I mean, it's up to these people if they want to pursue any charges against him, right? But then you look at it the other way and it's just taking more attention away from Jack and Lily, if you look at it that way as well. Do you know what I mean? And another thing that struck me was
now, can I interject there?
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I would be really upset if I lived in Pictou County and something horrific happened to a family member and RCMP said, oh, we can't help you because it's going to take too much time away from Jack and Lily. Shouldn't every victim have justice?
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, I'm sure that they don't think that way, but what I'm saying is that it's just taking the focus off of them again. Is what it is it's taking more time for them to solve this when everybody is coming out now. Well, not now. What I'm saying is for almost a year now, right? People have been coming out, running to the police with this and this and that, with unsubstantial tips that are not even tips.
You know, and that's in every case. That's, you know, mainstream, whether it's mainstream social media or, you know, mainstream media. The
But what?
police, you get inundated. They get inundated,
Yes.
inundated. I mean, my gosh, the Nancy Guthrie case, I don't even know
Mm-hmm.
how phone lines work. I really don't. Summer Wells, don't even get me going on that. Can't tell you how many psychics still call about Michael Vaughn. You know, we can't stop crazy. We just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. But the question I really want to know is why, if Lair Bear messaged Malaya May the 4th, okay, that's almost like a year ago, why is he coming out now? You know, after almost a year, why is he coming out now?
Well, did he reach out to Matlock or did Matlock reach out to Lair Bear?
That is the $150,000 question, Brooks. I have a bit of speculation with regards to that. He's been recently on a couple of other channels regarding discussing when Shelley confronted him about the fire GoFundMe. And he did mention with his own words that it was a small fire and that what the substantial damage was actually from water. But then from 200 gallons of water piling into his apartment from the sprinklers. But then he also said that it burnt down. Um, and then he mentioned that he was being sued for, I think it was $125,000 for the damages to that apartment. So it's possible that that's why he's coming out of the woodworks now. It might be he needs to possibly, in my opinion, recoup some funds for the lawsuit that he's facing for the damages to the apartment. But it is a very valid point. I mean, if he reached out to Malaya, why hasn't he been on May the 5th? Why has he not been working on this platform ever since that day? It is a case local to his community within his province that has made national headlines. So why did it take allegedly a lawyer to reach out to him for him to start compiling the information? If I was someone with the credentials that he has, involved heavily in finding missing children and solving human trafficking cases, I would have thought that this would be top of the priority, as it was for me as a mother in the community, wanting to know what happened to two missing children that were in my very own province. Um, One thing I wanted to quickly address, because Shelley's at work, she did want me to bring this up on her behalf, which I'm happy to do so. There's been a lot of discussion out there that she allegedly had told Larry to off himself on my channel, which you can carry on and listen to throughout here. What she said was, which is a figure of speech, which was if he was going to take advantage of people at their most vulnerable points, that he should just walk off a cliff. But that's somewhat like saying, give your head a shake, or, go fuck a duck. It's a figure of speech. And in no way, shape, or form did she ever say that he should do that. I just wanted to clear that part up as well, because that's something making the rounds in an effort to discredit Shelley from telling her story about what happened. It's another form of intimidation, in my opinion.
I hate when people try to speak up and everything that they're saying they can back up with documented conversation. You know, other people, one is in the chat, has so I'm bringing that one up. I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm talking about what we have going on right now. They can prove how much money they have sent him. I've got a ton of questions about the fire GoFundMe, considering he lived in an apartment. I will leave that for another day. Okay. I'm going to get back to this. And if it's okay with you guys, we're going to do a part 2 tomorrow. Okay.
Sure.
I'm going to have to chop this up. Okay. It's a lot of Lair Bear for everybody in one sitting.
To basically out him because he had been committing fraud for years. And then they pointed out, I guess, an incident that happened in 2018, I believe, where Larry claimed that he was impersonated, and that this person who impersonated him scammed people out of thousands and thousands of dollars, but he solved the case himself and figured it all out.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Just like Jim Terry. He got $10,000 from Dylan Round's family, something in that arena. And he goes, I solved that from my couch. It was Dylan was gay and one thing after another. It was nothing of the sort. Jim Brennard in it. And there was another case where he got like $5,000, I want to say, from a mother. He never did anything. The case solved itself, if you want to know the truth, because the evidence was all over the place and the police put it together quickly. Wow.
Is Shelly in the chat right now?
No, she's at work and probably watching, so I want everyone just to say, hi, Shelly.
Okay, sorry. I saw people saying, hi, Shelly, so I wasn't sure if she's in the chat. She did say she would try to come up if she could get a break. So
I just want everyone to know we support her. And I believe her. I mean, I don't know her from Adam and Eve, okay? I just know that everything she says, she can back up.
Okay. Right. So yes, apparently he is traveling in the US right now, according to his comments in a chat the other day.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I am just looking at which ones I want to bring up here. There's just so much.
You can post any of them. I have nothing to hide. I don't care. You can post any receipt I sent you. I have nothing to hide.
Okay. All right.
I forget what the saying is, but you know, like I don't have anything to win or lose in this. Like I have
you don't have a horse in the race.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Like I don't, you know, I'm just pissed off because like, if you can, I don't know, it just looks so shady to me. And I really hope I'm wrong. I truly hope I'm wrong and that someone could not possibly be this horrible, but things are just not adding up.
I can't post the one of Daleen right now because it has her telephone number in it.
Well, I mean, that's public information. That's her office number.
Okay.
It's public. It's on her profile because I went to look to see if it was actually her.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair then. Okay. I think you're not the only one who's upset. There's a lot of people that are just coming in. In fact, there's like 100 more people that have come in since you first came in. I'm just wondering if you can give a small recap again as to why I have you on the channel today and how you know Larry Cameron and what happened with your friend Trina. And I'm going to bring up some screenshots while you're talking.
Okay, so quick recap is that I've known Larry for over 20 years. We were never really close, but we were always acquaintances. I've known him through mutual friends and just like parties and, you know, just being in the same place at the same time. When my friend went missing in St. Catharines, Ontario, I thought of Larry right away because of all of his social media jazz and everything he posts. You know, he's always bragging about whatever certificate he gets and, you know, whatever, like his professionalism, we'll say. So I thought about Larry right away, contacted him, asked him to help, was so grateful when he said he would take on the case. He told me not to tell anyone, that everything he does is very behind the scenes and like Secret Service shit. And, you know,
Secret Service, like Ernie Shell. Okay, who is this to? Who is Lair Bear sending this to? Hey, bud, was just wondering if you had a couple hundred I could borrow till May 5th. He said, I witnessed a shooting, put in a report, it got read in court, and shit went down. I'm in hiding. My car was stolen, bank cards account drained, waiting for fraud to reimburse, got a hit put out on me. Oh my God, has he been watching The Departed? So who did he want the couple of hundred from? Do you know, Shenanigans?
Well, this was shared in a conversation that they had started a group that was called What the Heck's Wrong with Larry or something like that. When they began to figure out that he was targeting all of the friends and all of these people that were invested in trying to find their missing friends, they had a group. And so what he was doing was he was messaging them all individually, asking for money. And they got wind of it and then created a group basically dedicated to finding out who he was asking money from. And this was one of the members, I believe, that was involved in looking for Trina Blagden in St. Catharines. And this was one of the many stories that had come out with regards to him requesting money. The screenshot on here, which Shelley will go on to explain, was to prove that he was allegedly receiving funds from the RCMP, $30,000 a month, just trying to give himself credibility so that other people would send him money, in my opinion.
Okay, 30 grand a month. He should be giving other people a couple of hundred till May 5th, not the other way around.
Oh, I believed
You'd think
all of
so.
this, and he would certainly talk a good game and would call me regularly, FaceTime me, act like he was on his computer pinging my friend's phone. He'd be like, oh, I got her here, I got her at this time, I got, just stuff like that. He would send me maps. He would have us go to hotels, have them pull the surveillance. He would have us go to gas stations, pull the surveillance. Her last known sighting was at Firehouse Sub. We went there, we got statements, we asked them to pull the surveillance. They said they couldn't give us the surveillance, but they looked at it and confirmed that she was there. I mean, we had people working with us all over Ontario, and they were wonderful. Like, they were awesome. But in terms of what Larry really did was he followed an Uber driver. He never pinged Trina's phone because her phone was in fact in the water with her the whole time. So he couldn't have been pinging her phone. And in my head, and I guess in my heart, I truly believe that this was just like human error, and he made a mistake. And maybe that Uber driver was outside. Maybe they picked her up in the middle of the night, like, I wanted to believe him so bad. And in doing so, I regretfully, I pointed other families in Larry's direction when their family members went missing. So Cody McDonald, Justin McDonald, someone I can't say. Anyway, each time was the same thing. He would get the money. He would ask for more money all the time. He would, and then produce nothing ever. Like, nothing he's ever done has ever resulted in us finding anyone that was missing. But then he'll go on a YouTube channel and say he has found 16 to 17,000 missing children. And I mean, if you look that up, it's just not even ever, it's never happened in history. So, yeah. I guess that's in short.
Right. And also, I want to go over as well the young lady that he asked to meet as well.
Yeah. So after I called Larry out on posting the Jack and Lily.
Right.
Yep. So Larry on April 1st posted a GoFundMe, which is for himself, but he used Jack and Lily's face as the cover, and the header was, have you heard of the Jack and Lily Sullivan case?
Daylene said, is there any way I can defend myself, or is this just character assassination assassination 2.0. We're really not talking about you. Your name has come up a couple of times, but tomorrow we're doing part 2. This is more about Lair Bear, okay? But you're more than welcome to come up tomorrow, okay? More than welcome to come up tomorrow. So you can get your notes and everything together and be all prepared. All right, my friend?
I won't attend that.
Huh?
I won't attend that.
Oh.
Part 2. No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, I have a statement out that I am not going to be in contact with her. And if there's any further contact, that I will charge her for harassment. So I have no intention of being here tomorrow if she comes up.
Okay, then we will just skip that altogether. Good to know. Because no one is talking about her. Shelley is talking about what happened to her.
Which was obviously misleading to the public and would make you think that when you click on that link that you would be obviously sending funds to help with the Jack and Lily case, because that's how it looked. So when I clicked on the link and realized that it wasn't for Jack and Lily and confirmed this with someone who knows the family, I commented and said, like, where are these funds going? And just basically called him out. When I did, he deleted and blocked me, but I had time to screenshot everything. So I then made my own post on Facebook. In doing so, 3 other families came forward telling me about how they had the same kind of experience with when their loved ones were missing or found deceased. And he basically took the money, did the exact same thing, gave them the runaround, sent them on wild goose chases, and never produced anything of any value. And then one person in particular who was dealing with a sexual assault case commented, and this one really got to me. She said that Larry had contacted her via Facebook Messenger, told her that he was working undercover for the FBI, and keep in mind we're in Canada. So anyway, working undercover for the FBI, and that he would like to meet up with her so that he could get a recorded statement. So she thought, this is super weird. So she contacted the Port Hawkesbury RCMP detachment, and they told her that he was in fact not working that case or any case for them, and that he did work for them a long time ago decoding stuff, but that was the only thing he's ever done for them.
Right. Can you
Okay, that's a good place to pause until part 2. Okay.
My face looks really good there. Can you not pause it there?
Oh, look, that's Shenanigans O face.
That'll be on the next. That'll be on the next video that they're all going to create about me. I'm sure it'll be the thumbnail.
MOS.
Yeah, or MOC, or
Yeah.
Ron Mexico.
Yeah, Ron Mexico. Yeah.
He loves me. He thinks I'm hot.
Okay. Now, everybody, I put our second show for today in here. I appreciate everybody being here, especially Shenanigans, and extra especially Shelley for coming out and telling the truth, and the other women who will remain nameless that are contacting RCMP for horrible things. And I don't really even know what to say about old true crime cases, because we have an anniversary coming up and I don't know what she's going to get me. She knows. She knows I love her.
I have a question. If it was not,
I wear a size 8 and a 7.5 in shoes.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Mhm.
I do have a question though. If it wasn't a GoFundMe for Jack and Lily, then why was it taken down?
Excellent question.
You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
question.
Like, it all of a sudden goes away when people start questioning about it.
Mm-hmm.
So why? Why did it go away?
The same reason why people are reporting that video that you just played, Brooks, because they want to take it down. They don't want the bad publicity. They don't want Larry to be called out.
Well, I've
No.
seen this with other GoFundMe's. Do you guys know anything about the Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, tons of people went after
Mm-hmm.
that GoFundMe. Tons of people. And that family has to pay it back.
Yeah.
Once GoFundMe reaches out to the beneficiary, not the person that's managing it, the one that it benefits,
Mm-hmm.
they have to answer certain questions. If they can't, it goes bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want everyone to have a great another hour and a half, and I will see you back here. And don't forget, tomorrow is part 2, and we love our Blair Bear, okay? There's no hate here. We're not spreading any misinformation or any hate, right?
Well, we're just giving a platform to someone who alleges and speculates that they have been taken for a ride by someone called Lair Bear.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and give my opinion that there is zero speculation considering it's said person's life, and that considering everything the person brought forward, it certainly isn't alleged, and it's a stiff warning, a PSA to the public to don't deal with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do appreciate Shelley coming out and talking about this. Like, I really appreciate it, because no one would know any different if they went to his profile and he's seen all the credentials that he has. You know, nobody would know any different. They'd be like running to him. You know, if their family member was missing, or they'd be going right to him. So I really appreciate Shelley coming out.
Me
Yeah.
too. And I appreciate each and every one of you, especially all these long time members, gifted memberships. I think I owe you guys a members live real quick, and I'm going to make it extra sassy for you. So I will see you here in about an hour and a half. Much love to all.
You wanted me back in an hour and a half too, or are you doing something else? I don't know.
If you would like to come listen, you're more than welcome.
Is it still on Lair Bear and Jack and Lily, or?
No,
I'm curious.
it'll be
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were doing part 2 in an hour and a half. I was like, oh.
No, part 2 is tomorrow. So everybody
Okay.
mark your calendars, set your alarms, okay? And get ready, because tomorrow a lot's coming out. You guys have a blessed hour and a half, because I know you all, and I know you'll be here. Me love you long time.
Thanks, bro.
It's the first time of today.